Richie, we're here in Clay City, Kentucky, the second stop on our 2018 Southeast Gasser Tour, and rain has been the name of the game on Saturday, and we've been pushed back to Sunday, and we see some work going on down track, got some weepers going on.
Yeah, as it looked when we come up here yesterday, I mean, it didn't look like we were going to get this thing in, and these guys have busted their tails to get this track ready to go. We run qualifying over there in single file and just try to get something in. These guys have been steady working on the track down here. We got a few weepers down there coming through the surface, but they're going to get it straightened out, and we're going to go racing here in just a minute.
We are going to go racing, and that is because of the commitment to this racetrack and this association by Scotty Richardson and the ownership here at Mountain Park Dragway. We have seen our fans show up in good numbers today, considering that we have had to postpone this event back one day.
Yeah, it was back one day, and as early as 9 o'clock this morning, it was still sprinkling rain. So as you can see right now, the sun's out. Looks like it's going to be a pretty decent racing day.
The Lord's blessed us with a great day, and the word of the day for me is super stock. I mean, these cars are first time with us in the Southeast Gassers. What a beautiful piece of machinery they are, and meeting our Don Grother, our Grand Marshal, has really been an honor for me.
Yeah, walking around in the pits earlier this morning, saw some of these cars, and it's just amazing to think that this is what super stock was in the 60s. And again, you said Don's here today, and I heard him say that, 1973 was the last time he went down a racetrack. So special treat for him and a special treat for the Southeast Gassers today.
It really is, and we're seeing that the roots of racing, wanting to get back in a race car because of what Quayne Stott's vision is and what he's trying to accomplish here. You see the veterans, the legends. We've had multiple people show up that are world champions here at this racetrack, and others seeing the Southeast Gassers. And today is a monumental day. It is a Chamber of Commerce day because the sun's shining, slight little breeze. We're going to go make some horsepower, and we're going to take you racing. Beautiful Sunday at Clay City. Todd Oden and Rita Frazier starting us off here in C-Gas.
Yeah, you see Todd right here in the near lane. He turned the light on pre-stage, then he staged. His car kind of rolled back on him, and then he rolled back up, turned the bulb on, and it went red. And that gave Rita Frazier her first ever round win in her car that she's calling the American Woman.
Rick Cathcart, Kelvin Cannon, next two down the track. Great lead by both cars, and this has the makings of a great C-Gas race right here.
Yeah, it looks like Rick got him from the start, but Kelvin, I think, may have drove around him on the other end. It's going to be tight.
Look at that shot by Drone South, the narrowest of margins, and he will move on to the next round.
Todd Napier and Jimmy Huff right here. You can see as Jimmy takes the tree, there's a slight malfunction, and Jimmy was just unable to return for the next round.
For the rerun there, yes, that's correct. Jimmy out of Atlanta, Georgia. Larry Noel and Alan Barnes. Alan filling in for his dad in that Mighty Mouse car. And look at the crazy horse of Larry Noel bucking as it goes down the racetrack like an old Bronco. Jack McDaniel and Cynthia Phillips, next pair down the racetrack.
Yeah, Jack McDaniel's driving the red and black Mighty Lady, but as you can see, the flower power and the Mighty Lady behind the wheel, Cynthia Phillips, looks like she took it to him in this round one of C-Gas.
She gets better and better every time. There you see the Youngblood crew on the line for Josh Pruitt, the number one qualifier with a bye round.
Josh is a young gun, and that is a bad, bad machine right there.
Brian Higginbottom taking on John Gilligan right here. Gilligan, our winner from Lyons, Indiana last year.
57 Chevrolet versus the 57 Henry J.
It looks like Gilligan's going to come out the winner on this end. As you see a little bit of unrest in that Henry J as it gets down the racetrack. Marching into the second round of C-Gas right here. Larry Noel's going to take on Cynthia Phillips on a beautiful day in Clay City, Kentucky.
Yeah, considering all the rain that we had, the sun is a wonderful, wonderful sight that we see here. See the flower power car of Cynthia Phillips taking on the crazy horse of Larry Noel.
Two great-looking race cars, all hand-lettered, as Quayne Stott dictates them to be here in the Southeast Gassers. The right lane is the preferred lane out there today, as we do have some weepers that we're trying to take care of in the left lane, and this looks like it's going to be a dandy. I love how Larry's got it on the side there. Trainer Sandy Noel, as she is still got a driver in training, or the jockey as it's called.
Yeah, he's got jockey on his side of the car. Hey, this looks like a good race. It looks like both of them left together. Wow, it is close.
Larry Noel, I tell you what, I don't know, that's dead heat off the line right there. Larry Noel is your winner right there. You see the starting line shot. That 56 getting down that racetrack really well for him today.
Round 2, winner.
Yes, sir.
The old Crazy Horse running good today?
It's starting to come around. It ain't as good as it was at Shady Side, but it's getting it done. So I hope we can keep going. You know.
All right. Thank you, Larry.
Great interview right there, Richie, with Larry Noel. Kelvin Cannon going to be in the right lane in that 53 Chevy, taking on Todd Napier in the Atomic Hillbilly.
Yeah, we got the Chevy 2 versus the 53 Chevrolet here. Kelvin's got some new paint on that car, and talked to him earlier, and he is running well.
You see that Atomic Hillbilly make a move toward the middle. Todd Napier short shifts it to get it back into gear, and that looks like that's all Kelvin Cannon's going to need to take the victory right here in round number 2 of C-Gas.
Yeah, I think Kelvin got him on the start. Yep, you see it there, and Todd was just not able to make up the ground on the big end because that red car Kelvin's is really, really fast.
Cincinnati, Ohio runner John Gilligan got a tall order here and taking on the number 1 qualifier, Josh Pruitt.
That's right. That Ford out of Campobello, South Carolina is bad news. And that young man driving it is bad news as well.
Doing a good job of getting through the gears is Josh Pruitt this year. Number 1 qualifier today. He's already put both bulbs on, and there they go. Wheels in the air for Pruitt. Moving down the racetrack. Looks like it's going to be Josh Pruitt moving on to round number 3 in C-Gas competition.
Car gets a little squirrely on Josh right here. He straightens it back out, and the forward power of that thing took over, and Josh drove it on to victory.
Good job by the young driver of keeping that thing in the groove and making that shift.
All right, Josh, number 1 qualifier. First round bye, second round winner.
Yes, sir.
Got this young blood car flying today.
Yes, sir. It's running pretty good for us. Got to work it with the track, but it's running pretty good so far.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, up until today, the Southeast Gassers has had only one lady in a car. But as of today, that changes. Here's Miss Rita Frazier. Tell us about your car.
Well, it's a 60 Rambler wagon. It's got a 383, and I like it.
You ready to go racing?
I'm ready.
Well, I saw you make your first pass out there. Was that the official first pass of the car?
First time I've driven it.
Well, you did well for your first time down the track.
Well, thank you.
All right, y'all be on the lookout now for Rita Frazier. She's running C-Gas, and this is her Rambler wagon. Have you named it yet?
American Woman.
The American Woman. So y'all be on the lookout for Miss Rita. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Glad to have Rita Frazier here in the Southeast Gassers. She's in a second round by virtue of taking out Todd Oak.
Yeah, you see her car right there, the American Woman, and there's her husband, Robert, under the watch while she takes the car down the track. Rita's still getting used to driving this thing, so you watch out for her. She'll be tough as it goes on and she gets more passes under her belt.
Yeah, school teacher by trade. Rita Frazier, a veteran of the school system, so you know she's going to be a quick learner here in the Southeast Gassers. JLE Industries bringing you round 1 action right here. Danny Bird with the big wheels up lead, taking on Art Beeler.
Yeah, that Danny Bird car, the Junkyard Dog, is a bad machine. That thing comes up off the ground and just sits back down and easy and goes straight as an arrow.
James Beard taking on Zach Hall right here. Zach Hall out of Bluntville, Tennessee. Battle of the Tennessee natives right here, as Ripley's own James Beard is going to get took out right here in round number 1.
Yeah, it looks like Zach got him off the line, and I don't think James was ever able to catch up with him. Nope, you see the margin of victory there.
Doug Dobbins taking on Tim Bailey. Tim Bailey trying to get a new race car, and look at, oh, Richie, you see the water come out from under the wheels right there. Tim Bailey having to think better of it and push in the clutch. Some of those weepers that we mentioned earlier.
That's them. That caused a lot of problems.
Jerry Birch taking on Danny Graham. Danny and that Studebaker. And there it is again, yep. Danny breaking loose in a little bit of water, so we had to take a little break after this run. And Jerry Birch goes on to take out the Houston, Texas runner right there, Danny Graham. Back to action, Adam Lowhorn and Ronnie Sandhuff. Lowhorn with the wheels up in the air. No water this time as he takes out the Texas shooter, Richie.
Yeah, Adam Lowhorn has no fear. This young man right here can drive a stick car, and he's not afraid to step on it. B-Gas, round 2. Danny Bird taking on Zach Hall.
Zach out of Bluntville, Tennessee in that 57 Chevy they call a homegrown. Danny Bird in that Junkyard Dog with the beautiful America red, white, and blue paint on that car.
Yeah, Danny Bird, the veteran here, some 76, 77 years old, taking on the youngster Zach Hall. Let's see what he can do with Danny.
Both cars into the pre-stage right here. No gains as they roll straight in. Good lead by Danny Bird right there. Zach Hall going left. He had to gather that 57 in. Saw a little wisp of water out of one of those weepers on the right side there of his car. And Danny Bird marches on to victory.
Yeah, that lane has been a little troublesome all day long. I think you see Zach starting on the line there, get a little sideways, and then he hit that little puddle. Here we see Doug Dobbins out of Campobello, South Carolina, driving the car he calls the Medicine Man.
Yeah, Doug, our defending world champion from last year. There you see his wife Ingrid bringing him into the beams. This is a bye run for Doug. All the new combinations that he's working on, he goes ahead and runs it through. Let's talk here. This is the Birch Brothers Racing. We're in the trailer up here with them. We're trying to find some trade secrets. What happened at Shadyside?
We broke a main shaft in the transmission.
Well, how in the world were you able to go by Dean Harris and holler out the window at him, the only reason you won was because I broke?
There's a very good reason for that. First gear goes through the cluster. Third and fourth don't.
See, I wouldn't know that.
I was giving you the technical answer.
Well, let me go over here to the mechanical brains of the operation, since, we know you are the mechanical brains here, Joey.
I don't know about all that.
Come on now. We know that you can take all...
check tire pressure and stuff like that and fill it up with gas, but that's all I'm good for.
What happens when something goes wrong between the driver's ears and that turns on that big red light? What do you do?
Nothing.
I haven't seen you put out any applications for a new driver.
Well, it's not my car. It's his car, so I'm the one that's hired here.
You the hired help.
I'm the hired help.
And that's all we got from inside the Freebird trailer, the hired help and the car owner. Palmyra, Indiana runner Adam Lohorn's going to be taking on the Freebird, Jerry Birch, right here in the next matchup.
Yeah, Jerry Birch and his brother Joey out of Roebuck, South Carolina.
Nice little dry hop right there. You see Mike Lohorn. What's he holding there, Rich?
Looks like, I think it's the fan belt off of Adam's car. He throws it off every time he does one of his high winding burnouts.
So he just holds on to it and lets it go down the track without a fan belt on. There you see both cars staged, looking like this is going to be a great race. Both cars wheels in the air on the line.
It looked really close coming off the line, but you see the power of the Freebird down on the other end as he just drives around Adam Lohorn.
Little tire wobble for Adam Lohorn, but I tell you what, you don't ever want to meet up with that guy because he is quick on the tree.
Round two under your belt. What you think?
It's going good. She's coming on down there.
You got a new power plant in this thing this year, don't we?
No, it's the same one as last year. I haven't got the heads yet. We still running the 292 angle plugs. We just trying some gears and stuff. Just got a brand new HIGHTOWER wide gear because we broke the main shaft last week. It's coming down.
All right,
your race.
Watch out for the Freebird and Mr. Jerry Birch. He's a tough man. Thank you, Jerry.
Appreciate it.
Jumping into A-gas right here. Troy Leitner moving up to A-gas. Leaves before the tree's even activated. Man, he was ready to go.
Troy's been working on that shake and bake car, and I guess he was just a little bit excited right now.
He got that thing shaking a little early. Gives a win right over to Justin Moses, you see right there. Turner, Gabriel Burrow. Gabriel Burrow stretches the wheels out right here on that Falcon.
As you can see, the right lane's still giving us a little trouble here. There you can see the water, and he gets a little loose. There's the crew working on the weak spots.
Yeah, Tim Ellison can't say enough about the work he does for us. Ben Christopher in that 48 Anglia Happy Days car marches on to another round right here against Robert Frazier. Watch that car pull the wheels up.
Yeah, that's some of that Scott Duggan's power horsepower right there in that Anglia car that Ben is dedicated to his dad.
Speaking of another Anglia right here, the hired gun looks like he pulled his trigger a little too early against the defending world champ Donovan Stott. Took a shot at the tree and missed it.
Well, Ernie says you got to take a shot at the tree if you're running the little white car.
Well, that you do, there's no doubt. Todd Oden right here takes a round win over Barry Lynn in a good race right here. Todd Oden in that double down 56.
Barry Lynn in the red, little red wagon.
Yeah, 1965 Chevy Chevelle wagon.
Gary Klein taking on Shannon Smith right here. Good to have Shannon back in the Pale Rider. As you can see, Shannon marches on to victory right here.
That car goes nice and straight for Shannon. I know he's went left a couple of times hard here at Clay City in the past. And there he is, Kenneth Phillips, in that Silver Streak number 2 with that Gene Foot horsepower under the hood. Gets it a little out of shape, but being that he's on a bye run as the number 1 qualifier, he moves on to round number 2.
Hey, yes, round 2. Right here we have Gabriel Burrow taking on his cousin, Donovan Stott.
Man, big race right here. The 2 hot shoes, Donovan Stott, 2-time and defending world champion in our A-gas category. And Gabriel Burrow is hungry to knock off his cousin. He has to hear about it all the time.
Yeah, there's no family love lost when these two right here get on the racetrack. Interacting outside of this, they're the best of friends. But when you get right here, it's all over but the crying.
Water box to finish line, there is no friends. Good lead by both cars right there. Gabriel looks like he stepped up to stay with Donovan. Donovan with a little bit of bounce in there, and Gabriel Burrow takes the win. Look at Cynthia Phillips and the crew, David Burrow, and everybody celebrating right there, mom and dad. Big win for Gabriel Burrow.
Looks like they left together, but I believe Gabe, well, he might have got him out of the hole a little bit. I think Gabe just powered around him on the other end. All right, Gabe, got the old cuz.
Finally
got the cuz.
took 3 seasons, but I got him finally.
It looked good. We standing right here at the finish line and the little gold Falcon.
We left with him and pulled him on the big end, so it worked good all the way around.
I hear you, brother. Way to go.
Thank you.
There's Kenneth Phillips, number 1 qualifier in the left lane, taking on Justin Moses in the right lane.
Got the Corvette versus the big 57, 56 Chevrolet here.
Yeah, 2 great-looking race cars right here. The epitome of what we talk about in the Southeast Gassers in this race today. Corvette versus that big Tri-5 Chevy.
Yeah, you see that smoky burnout. That's what Justin Moses is known for, is his smoky burnout.
He really can get it done. There you see Kenneth's beautiful wife bringing him into the lights there. K&J Pools on the side of that Corvette helping them get the job done. Big time wheel stand right there by Kenneth Phillips. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Kenneth Phillips marches on. Man, look at that lead by Phillips.
You can see that Fulton horsepower in that silver Corvette. He just pulls him off the line and he never looks back.
Moving on to the next round, there's Todd Oden. He's going to get a competition single because Ben Christopher unfortunately had a breakage in his car.
Yeah, Ben broke the main shaft in his transmission. Actually, it wasn't the main shaft in the transmission. It's where the drive shaft goes into the back of the transmission. It galled it up, and he was unable to make this run.
So Todd Oden is going to move on by the competition single right there.
Yeah, and Todd, I think, Todd broke something on the other end.
Yeah, he did not take the usual just stroll down the park there.
Here you see Shannon Smith in that beautiful yellow 55 Chevrolet he calls the Pale Rider.
Shannon, the number 2 qualifier, gets the bye run that because of the number of cars that we had, so this is going to be a bye for him. Just lovely looking at this race car go down the track.
Well, he does not take his bye run lightly. You see him take off and go down the track. Shannon's got a bad machine there.
We are honored to have Don Grother here with us, a absolute legend in Mopar racing and super stock racing. Don, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank goodness we got some sunshine now.
Yes, sir. The sunshine has come out. The Lord has definitely shined on us here. And, Don, what a beautiful car you have here to compete today in our super stock division, a new division that we're starting in the Southeast Gassers.
Well, I'm privileged to be here and run this car the first time in your super stock division. This car, I haven't driven it other than just from the shop into the trailer, but we're going to give it a whirl today.
Well, it is an absolutely incredible looking car. How long has it been since you've been behind the wheel in competition, Don?
1973 was the last time that I run.
Now, how did you hear about the Southeast Gassers and what drew you to this?
Well, Chuck Smith lives in Philadelphia, Tennessee, and he rebuilt this car. Took him a year and a half, and they got a hold of him and told him about the Southeast Gassers and said that they were going to have the super stock division. And he called me and wanted to know if I wanted to drive this car. And I said, you bet, I'm ready to go with it. So we kind of set up this deal to come drive it. And it's never been raced. It's just a brand new car. And we're here to try it out.
Well, what an honor to have you drive this car with your history. I mean, you are a Mopar Hall of Famer. And, Don, in your racing history, it is vast. I mean, what are some of the races that you have been in competition and won that stands out the most to you?
Well, probably the best one was the Winter Nationals in Pomona. I won Superstock Eliminator in my '68 Barracuda.
And I saw some more history in leading up to what we were doing here today. You had a big win at Englishtown, New Jersey, one of the classic racetracks on the NHRA circuit.
Yeah, we won modified production in a '71 Roadrunner. We set the national record of that race, and the car also run with a single 4-barrel in AHRA, and the car was never beat in that class.
Never beaten in AHRA competition.
Never was.
Back in here in Clay City, Kentucky with Chuck Smith out of Tennessee. Chuck, we know that you are known for your restorations of 426 Hemis and Hemis in general. What a beautiful recreation you have brought out here for our Superstock category. We thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Chuck, how many man hours do you think you have in this car?
Oh, we don't count the hours. We just restore them. But, probably 1,500.
And how long did it take you to do it?
Probably a year and a half.
And that's a year and a half of committed work to you. I mean, this labor of love, it really shows through in everything that you've done, right on down to the hand lettering on here and everything. What are some of the special things that you love on this car?
Well, it's not the original car, but we had a lot of the original parts. And that was kind of the secret. When you got the original headers and shifter and rev limiter, and we just put all those pieces together, and then I had date coded correct parts to put it down. Before we brought it up here, it had 1967 tires on it. We didn't think that would work, so we did change the tires out, put a drive shaft loop on it, a few little things just to make it a little safer.
Right. And how great is it to have a drag racing legend and a Mopar man himself in Don Grother driving it for you?
Oh, it don't get any better than that. Yeah. I met Don up at what was that up in Minnesota years and years ago. And I got a keys out for an old Barracuda and tossed to him. I said, help us unload this old Barracuda. And that's my old car. So we finally got it restored and took it to the Hemi reunion there. And was that 08 or? Yeah. So, but.
And so that was the first time you really got to talk to Don.
First time I ever talked to him.
Just tossed him the keys to a Barracuda.
Yep.
You knew it was his though, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What did that mean to you when he tossed you those keys?
That got me fired up about Mopars and recreation of it.
Here we are in the C-Gas semifinals. Got Josh Pruitt taking on Larry Noel.
Yeah, Josh out of Campobello, South Carolina. There you see the Iceman, Billy Ison, his crew chief on the line. Boy, he's got a tall order with the crazy horse right here, even though he's the #1 qualifier. Larry Noel, he went to the finals at Shadyside, and here he is in the semifinals at Clay City.
Larry Noel has been working on that car all year, all the season, and looks like something's up with Josh's car.
I think when we talked to him a little bit later, they had some transmission troubles, trying to bring him back up here, get him going again to give Larry a race. Larry nice enough to let that happen. There we got a race now, both off the line. Larry Noel giving him all he wants right here. The young blood going to the center line. Looks like that car nosed over, like maybe he lost third gear or something.
Yeah, there's definitely something amiss in that car. You can see the little splash of water come up, which didn't phase Josh. The car leaves hard, but right here you see the car just kind of die. The crazy horse is running wild today.
Yeah, she's doing all right. She's not as fast as she was, but we're going around, so I'm happy.
Way to go, Larry. That's a great job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Semifinals, C-Gas. Got Kelvin Cannon taking on Rita Frazier.
Yeah, Rita making it all the way to the third round, but got a tall order right here in Kelvin Cannon. Going to be running in the right lane. He put Rita over in the left, which right lane is the preferred lane here.
Yeah, the left lane has been a little dicey all day long, so we'll see how this works out.
Under the watchful eye there, Rocky Platt, partnered with Kelvin Cannon right here. He goes in double bulbs, or let's see if Rita can handle getting in the, yep, there she comes. Something new for a young driver right there when you do that to him. Kelvin, a little bit of strategy right there, and that looks like that's going to push him on to victory against Rita Frazier.
Yeah, this being only the third time Rita's been in the car, looks like Kelvin got a little hole shot on her right here. And Kelvin's got some power under the hood of that car, so you see him just kind of drive off and take the victory.
I think Clay City's my track. I done this last year. Went to the finals last year.
You did. That's exactly right. I believe Red's your color, too.
Yeah, we like Red. And Clay City. I think we need to keep coming back.
All right, way to go, Kelvin. Here we are, the B-Gas semifinals. You got Doug Dobbins taking on Jerry Burt.
Yeah, both guys from Spartanburg County. We're going to call this the Spartanburg County Shootout while they're here in Clay City, Kentucky. Burning them down, both cars with some power horsepower under the hood.
Both of these cars right here have extremely big horsepower motors in them. And the two guys sitting behind the wheels are no slouches either.
No doubt there. Jerry Burt's probably won more races in our C or B gas, as we call it now, category than anybody else in the category. Both cars are staged and off the line. Looks like Jerry Burt's got the drop on him.
Yeah, but I believe the bulb was red.
Yep, red means dead, and the red car will move along to Medicine Man on to the finals, Doug Dobbins.
As you can see right there, Jerry just barely went red. He knew what he had to do to beat Doug.
Danny Bird going to be on a single here with a bye run to move on to the finals. Let's see if he's going to take it down the track hard. Nope, he is going to save his equipment and move on to the finals.
That's some of that 70-something years of experience that Danny Bird has in drag racing.
A-Gas right here. Gabriel Burl off that big round win against his cousin, going to get no breaks right here as he's got the Pale Rider and Shannon Smith.
He's got a tall order right here taking on that Pale Rider car at Shannon Smith, but that Jimmy Huff horsepower that he's got in that little gold car, that thing is screaming.
It really is, and Shannon Smith, he had a little malfunction up at Shadyside at our first race, or he would have been in competition there. He broke on Friday night in practice, and so he wasn't able to run, but now back into competition here and doing well is Shannon Smith. Let's see how this one's going to turn out, folks. I can't wait for this one. Neither guy in there yet.
This is his strategy, I guess.
Well, it could be. Let's see if Shannon's going to play the old cat and mouse game right here. Looks like Gabriel's going to go ahead and go in. He goes in early. Yep, he's going to make Gabriel go in first. Waiting him out just a little bit right here. There, the Pale Rider goes in there. Good lead by both cars. Straight down the racetrack is Gabriel Burrell.
Looks like it was really close on this end. And
Shannon Smith pulls it out on the big end.
It's barely.
It can't be more than a couple of tenths right there because that race was a good one. Shannon Smith pedaling that race car down the racetrack in the left lane. Look at that, Richie.
This is great drag racing, Ford versus Chevrolet. All right, Shannon, the Pale Rider's back with the Southeast Gassers. Got a new bullet under the hood.
We just freshened up the old one. Put a couple rods in it.
Well, it looks like you hadn't lost too many steps out there.
No, well, they say it's like riding a bike. I don't know that. It's a fact, but that last pass was fun. A little hairy, close, good close run.
Well, it's
real tough to beat.
Gabe is tough to beat. Well, it's good to see you back with the Gassers, brother.
Glad to be back. Thank you.
A-Gas semifinals here. You see Kenneth Phillips taking a competition single. As we saw earlier, Todd Oden broke something on the other end.
Yeah, we did, and looks like Kenneth's going to give it a good run down the track, try to get lane choice so he can stay in that right lane for the finals.
All right, Kenneth, here we are. Final round.
We're in the finals. That's where I wanted to be.
Well, it looks like you got the little silver street car flying today.
It's doing good. It started off not doing too good, but now it's straightened out.
Well, I know the track's been a little bit hairy today, and looks like y'all they got it back under control, and cars are starting to pick up.
Sure did. We didn't even think we was going to get to run this morning, but it's looking good now. One thing about it is I've never outrun Shannon.
Well, this could be the first time. Good luck, Kenneth.
All right, thank you.
Here's our Super Stock finals right here. Mark Hackett versus Robert Peffley. Couple of great-looking race cars right here. One you don't see every day, Rich.
Yeah, you got the Grocery Getter Station Wagon Dodge versus the beautiful, beautiful little Comet over there on the other side.
Yeah, Mark and his wife, Rhonda, did a great job putting that car together. As we see them trying to get into beams right here is Peffley. There we go. Peffley a little late on the line.
Yeah, it looks like Mark got him off the line, and it looks like the Comet is going to... Wait a minute. He still got him. I thought he was going to drive around him on the other end.
Yeah, it looks like the leave in the 60-foot really got him, but right there, Peffley got that thing going about third gear, and he was eating him up coming to the top end. But there you see Mark Hackett with that starting line advantage, and that was just too much to make up for Peffley.
Whole shot's what got him. Super stock class of the Southeast Gassers. Mark.
That's right.
Robert, I talked to you this morning.
Yes.
Well, I understand that I think he got you, didn't he?
He got me, pulled me right through the end.
Well, tell me what it felt like.
Well, it was really cool. I really didn't think I had a chance in the beginning. We've been kind of pairing the cars up all day, and Robert's car is a good little bit quicker than ours, but, I mean, that's drag racing, that's why you show up. So it feels great. I told somebody earlier today, me and my wife were spectators all last year, and that was an awesome experience, but it's an honor to be here as a participant. And so we're really proud of what's happened today with this class and Robert and Mike putting this deal together for us.
Yeah, I know Robert and Mike put it together, and I know you got to be happy to be here.
Oh, I'm thrilled to death. This is a long-time dream come true. Period correct. Super stock racing. It's as good as it gets. I mean, we had a good car all day, and it just clutch acted up a little bit on the start line. We tried to reel him in and gave him a good run for it, and everybody's happy. Had some good weather, so we're just thrilled to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you guys here, and I know this class is going to be just like the Gasser was when it started. It's going to get bigger and bigger. There's going to be more and more people who want to do this. And, man, it's just great to have y'all here. It's great to have these cars. I love these old cars. I love this kind of drag racing, and it just makes drag racing feel like what it should be.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Guys,
Absolutely.
Glad to have you.
Much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
JLE Industries bringing you finals here at Clay City, Kentucky in our C-Gas. Larry Noel going to be in the right lane. He's going to take on Kelvin Cannon in the left lane.
Yeah, you got the two guys right here, Larry Noel, been working on that car all year long. Kelvin's got this car running good, started working on it at the beginning of this year, and has made a lot of changes to the old Moonshiner car, but we're going to see what Larry and Kelvin's going to do right here.
There you see Sandy Noel telling her husband, I don't expect anything less than first place out of you and this crazy horse. So let's see if the trainer told her jockey what to do right here. Larry Noel leaves the line first and just drives away from Kelvin Cannon. Larry Noel's going to take it to victory lane.
I believe Sandy had the jockey whip out on Larry that time.
Definitely. That crazy horse was definitely running really well. And what a great story right here with all the work they put in to this crazy horse to take it to victory lane at Clay City, Kentucky. Larry Noel, what about it, buddy? I got to get some love.
That's right.
Man, what a long time coming, brother.
Hey, you got to earn this thing. They don't give them to you. So it took a lot. We figured this car out. It belonged in the 10-pound class. Once he made that class, I said, that's where this car needs to go. We put a small block in it. Wayne Sless made a bunch of power for me because I need that extra help. And Sandy's been a great job. We're just having a good time now. I'm happy the car's competitive, and I'm glad to be the driver,
Well, and
I'm glad to be the jockey.
That's exactly right, because sometimes these cars will jockey around with you. What about Sandy? She's so beautiful, and she stuck by y'all through it all. You guys have done this together.
Oh, absolutely. And I wasn't interested in it unless she was willing to back me up and just be part of it, And so that's why we did it. I never had a race car before until I met Southeast Gassers and Dwayne, Donovan, and all the guys. And I said, Sandy, you got to be my backup girl. And she goes, well, what is that? I said, don't worry about that. We'll figure it out. And we've been having a blast. I mean, we spent a bunch of money. We've worked crazy hours, but the car has now a race car, and we're happy with that. And we're just proud to be part of it,
And you've done it together. And a lot of times you bring in your grandchildren and your children. So it's really a family affair for you.
Yeah, I wish they were here today. It's just too long from the house. It's a 9-hour drive. We hung out for 2 days in the rain. I was hoping it was going to be worth it. We went to the finals in Shadyside. The car got lucky, made it to the finals, and I don't know why. I just had a blessed day.
2 finals in a row for the crazy horse. Larry, you got to be thinking points right now. And, man, what a great way to start this 2018 season.
Yeah, an awesome way because we made the right decisions for the car. You know, it's a player now. We pull up to that line, they look across there, and they say, man, we got Larry Noel. It's not just, it ain't no problem no more, you know. So we're happy. Everything's good. All that work and money has paid off. It's what we wanted to do. I didn't think I'd ever get one of those trophies, you know, but I'm glad I have.
2 straight finals and a player now in the points. This crazy horse can't be overlooked. Your winner today, Clay City, Kentucky, Larry and Sandy Noel in the Crazy Horse.
Big Ass Finals right here at Clay City, brought to you by Race Pack. You have Doug Dobbins taking on Danny Bird.
There you see Ingrid Dobbins bringing Doug into his tracks right there. Going to be a big matchup right here. 2 high horsepower cars, 2 veterans behind the wheel.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of driving experience behind the wheel of these 2 Chevy 2s. And as you said, a lot of big horsepower under the hood.
Just beautiful race cars, and we just continue to be amazed by what comes out here in the Southeast Gassers, race after race. Everybody just making their cars beautiful. Both cars staged right there, and it looks like Doug Dobbins could not wait. The red car goes red, giving the win over to Danny Bird.
Doug just left a moment too early.
Look at the hood coming up right there on that race car with all the torque and horsepower coming out from one of that little red Chevy 2.
Yeah, it looks like Doug, when he come up the body flex, and maybe threw a hood pin off.
Hey, Danny Bird in victory lane again. Got Brian with you right by your side, your faithful crew chief. Man, what a day.
We couldn't do it without him. Couldn't do it without him.
This car has been on a string ever since it's come out here to be on the Southeast Gassers, and today was no different.
Yeah, this is our backup motor. We've got one better than this coming.
Brian, I got to ask a question. One better than this? What are we talking about here?
It never ends. You always keep striving for better and better.
He's going to keep pushing you too, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he is.
Well, Brian, great job in the crew chief today. And Danny, what was there one round when you knew that this may be your day?
Well, when it did that big wheel stand and the ring gear and pinion survived, it did a lot of damage to it, but at least it lived that long.
And it did, and boy, the fans really loved it, because today with the weather, the track conditions, not a lot of cars was getting up in the air. And then one guy come by me and he said, boy, that dog car got way up in the air. And I said, it had to be Danny Bird.
Yeah, we like it that way.
Well, Danny, again, beautiful car. Congratulations here today in Clay City, Kentucky. Taking the hardware back to Sykeston, Missouri. Danny Bird from Clay City, Kentucky.
Thank you.
A-Gas Finals right here, in the words of Mitch Stott, the kings of the sport. Kenneth Phillips, our number 1 qualifier, taking on our number 2 qualifier in Shannon Smith.
That's right, David. You got the number 1 car and the number 2 car here. Both of these cars, big horsepower under the hood.
Just as it should be, the 1 versus the 2 right here. And you're exactly right, Richie. These are the Goliaths of the sport right here. These guys got a lot of money in these cars, and I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top of this one.
Well, it should be a really close race, because as you heard Kenneth say earlier, he's never beat Shannon.
And Shannon said earlier as well, he put a couple of new rods in his, so his car's fresh. This looks like it's going to be a titanic matchup.
You can see the sign right there on the back of Shannon's car, the All Business Racing. And I tell you what, when he climbs in that yellow car, he's all business.
He sure is. Likes for the other guy to go in first, so Kenneth puts it in first. Shannon now creeping into the beams right here. Let's see who it's going to be. Oh, the red light for Kenneth Phillips.
Well, you know what that means. Red, you're dead. But, Shannon gets a little out of shape down there.
Yeah, never know how that one could have turned out via the red light. But, folks, I was in the tower for this one. That is a 001 red for Kenneth Phillips, just about as far as you could push it. Shannon Smith, man, putting it back in victory lane, it's got to feel like sweet vindication.
It was good. It was good. Kenneth beat himself. I didn't really beat him, but I'll take it. I've done it before. I'll take it from him every time.
Well, you got to be there for him to make that little slip to give it to you.
I did. It worked out. It worked out good. You can't toil Kenneth much, and I knew I could not run him, but I don't know. We skated her on through there, and I didn't know he went red. I mean, I was trying to stay with him the whole time. He wouldn't do it, but
he went red by 001 red.
001. We had good reaction times all day long, but not one that bad.
Well, and new horsepower for you under the hood. I know you had a little bit of problem at Shady Side, and you got to like the way it's turning around here for you.
I don't know about any more power. I talked to Gene about doing that, and he said I didn't have the money and he didn't have the time. So he buttoned it back up, and we came back racing.
Well, whatever he did it right. Shannon Smith, our winner today at Clay City, Kentucky. Shannon Smith, Landrum, South Carolina. Well, Richie Pugh, what a way to wrap up Clay City, Kentucky. Larry Noel coming back and getting in victory here, his first ever in Southeast Gassers after the commitment they've made to put the money in that car.
Yeah, I talked to Larry a little earlier, and we just talked about the transition to how that car has come from the mint green color that it was to primer to blue to now it's lettered up with Crazy Horse. He put a new engine in it, and Larry's just worked and worked and worked, and it finally paid off, and he was one happy customer.
And as happy as you can be, Shannon Smith, not a big emotional guy, but him taking the win after a year being kind of away from us, and now he's back. So Shannon Smith taking that victory in A was awfully sweet too.
Yeah, Shannon, I talked to him too. And, he was telling me, he said that he was just glad to be back, said he had some stuff that he had to do, took a year off, and got the car back, and it's still the Pale Rider. Don't say it on the side anymore, but it's still the Pale Rider, and it was good to see Shannon back in victory lane.
It really was, and what a great crowd we had here today, even after the inclement weather that we faced yesterday, having to move the event back to Sunday. The stands were still very well represented, and we thank our fans for that.
Yeah, absolutely. This morning at 8:30, 9 o'clock, they was still sprinkling rain. There was water everywhere. These guys out here at this racetrack have done a tremendous job to get this thing in, get it done. The crew that we got here, all the guys that work for Southeast Gassers, they did a heck of a job to get these cars turned around. As you can still see, it's daylight, and we got the race in. Everything was good. Everything was safe, and everything stayed dry.
And it would, and we've got some test and tune cars going down the track. Scotty Richardson just opening up to the track to these guys, and that's a credit to him and what he does here at Mountain Park Dragway. So, but just overall, just a great event. We're glad to be here. And as always, Richie, we're going to take us out of here and go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much for all the blessings that you've bestowed upon us today. Lord, the safety that you have put your guiding hand on us as we've been here today is just amazing. The weather's been beautiful. Lord, we would be remiss if we didn't remember one of our fallen top sportsman drivers that was in competition at Atlanta Dragway this past weekend. Be with his family, Lord, and just heal them as only you know how to do, Lord. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.